Hey guys, welcome back to Spin Cycle. I am of course your host Tony Giles TG, and in this season of Spin Cycle I thought I'd do something where I could pay tribute to the new home of Spin Cycle, which is right here in Walsall in the West Midlands. And if you talk about Walsall, you're talking about the West Midlands, there is but one group that you have to talk about, and that's of course the legendary Judas Priest, because Judas Priest are actually hometown heroes. Rob Halford spent his formative years in the town of Bloxwich, which is a mere stone's throw from here. I think it's actually about a 10-minute drive. It's really not that far. I have to drive through it to get to the shop. So I thought, you know what? I'm a big Judas Priest fan. I've got a lot of Judas Priest records. Why not talk about Judas Priest on Spin Cycle? And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to kick off with British Steel, because if you are a hard rock heavy metal fan, and you are from the UK, not especially, but you know, we have an affinity for our groups, you will be a fan of, you will be aware of, and it's quite possible you will already own a copy of British Steel. This is not my first Judas Priest album, but this is the album that has the song that first introduced me to Judas Priest, which I'm sure is probably the same for at least a handful of you out there. And that song, of course, is Breaking the Law. Breaking the Law. It's an odd song. I listen to it now, and as much as I like Breaking the Law, I think it's quite funny, almost campy in a way. And especially when you see the video as well, Judas Priest in a bank vault, Rob Halford in a suit, just doesn't seem right. You know, I want this guy. I want the metal god. That's who I want. Anyway, I love this album for many, many reasons. Breaking the Law is a good song. Rapid Fire is a great song. Metal Gods, fantastic song. Living After Midnight, that's my song right there. If you ever get TG slightly inebriated and in a bar that has a microphone and a karaoke setup, there's a good chance you'll hear me belt out a not great rendition of Living After Midnight, because it is just a banger song, and still a song you will hear on Top 40 Radio every now and again. It's a great catchy tune. This copy of British Steel is a reissue from, I want to say, the 2000s, and this one was proudly pressed at MRP, and I'm going to show you the package right now. Comes with a beautiful printed inner sleeve, lyrics on one side, album cover on the other. And this comes, I haven't weighed this, I don't have a scale to hand, but if I had to hazard a guess, I would say this is 180 grams of British Steel, if I had to be a betting man. It looks good and it sounds fantastic. If you are looking to bolster your Judas Priest collection, these reissues are a good place to start. Probably run you $25, $30, something around that. Not too expensive, and well worth the investment. And like I said, this is going to be the first in a series of Judas Priest videos right here on Spin Cycle, because if I cannot pay tribute to the hometown heroes, then what am I doing this for? Now remember, if you would like to grab yourself some Memphis swag, perhaps one of these nifty Memphis hats or a Memphis Halloween shirt, remember to head on over to mrpswag.com. And to make sure you never miss an episode of the upcoming Judas Priest on Vinyl series, make sure you're subscribed to the Memphis Record Pressing YouTube channel. That's it for this week's episode of Spin Cycle. So when you think vinyl, think Memphis.